Who we having for? Imagine that. They gotta lie. They gotta lie. They gotta lie all the time. They can't even believe their own lie. You can't even believe your own lie.
I want to be the best. So when I see certain guys out there, and I seen Teo his last fight, I was there front row, and I'm like, damn, this dude is like, he like a baby Roy. Like he like doing things with his hands down, flashy.
Too much of it. You know, I think that he believes in himself. That's one thing. But I'm here to destroy his dreams and all that he wants to do and become. You can't take this from me. I worked very hard.
At the press conference, Teofimo Lopez delivered a stark warning to Shakur Stevenson, vowing to punish him in the ring. Branded the underdog, Lopez said he will prove what he's truly capable of, insisting that anyone who doubts him will witness his full skill, power, and resolve.
They know that. They kept their ass in that protection program.
Money talk, bullshit walk. Money talk,
they
bullshit
kept
walk.
their ass in that protection program.
Lopez enters the Stevenson fight with fierce determination, confident, focused, and intent on domination. He's committed to proving his skill, power, and strategy, leaving no doubt about his abilities.
Yeah. I'm gonna beat him up. I'm gonna beat him up.
And we know at one point you contemplated retirement. Seems like you're in a good place now. You're active. Where are you at right now? Where are you feeling about your career?
Mentally, I'm in the Bahamas somewhere, having a coquito or something, bro.
Teofimo Lopez makes it clear he will not let Shakur Stevenson take the belt he sacrificed so much to win. The title, he says, carries years of struggle, pain, and discipline. This fight is deeply personal, a defense of everything he built through blood, effort, and unwavering self-belief. He insists no one will take what he earned.
And talking of being in the ring,
yes.
Shakur Stevenson, obviously you guys are both in Las Vegas. I'm hearing that you did link up today. A face-off happened between the two of you?
Yeah, face-off happened, things of that nature, just to create the things that are in motion already. So we're really adamant about fighting each other next, and I can't wait for us to really lace it up. And I see him across the ring, and really when that bell rings, lights out for him.
What's it like seeing him now kind of face to face? When you look at him, what do you see? Because obviously you're not locked in just yet, and the closer it gets to a fight, obviously things turn a little bit. But when you do look at Shakur, what do you think of him?
I think I don't think too much of it. You know, I think that he believes in himself. That's one thing. But I'm here to destroy his dreams and all that he wants to do and become. You can't take this from me. I worked very hard for it. I've bled for this, and I'm not taking nothing from him, but I just believe that what's gonna happen next is for destiny in the boxing ring to decide.
Ayoya breaks down the Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez clash as a tactical battle likely to go the full 12 rounds. He explains that the first 6 rounds will be critical, yet expects Shakur to start cautiously, fighting off the back foot, studying Lopez, and avoiding early risks. If Teofimo can dominate or clearly edge those opening rounds, it could force Shakur to adjust, turning the second half into a far more competitive fight. Lopez is portrayed as a classic frontrunner, explosive and energetic early, and Ayoya questions whether he can sustain that pace down the stretch. Should Stevenson realize he's dropped some of the early rounds, he'll have no choice but to open up late, setting the stage for a furious finish and razor-close championship rounds. But if Lopez fails to assert himself early and loses the first few clearly, Shakur could simply manage the distance and glide to a comfortable unanimous decision. In Ayoya's view, this matchup is a high-level chess game where timing, energy management, and disciplined round-by-round execution will ultimately decide the winner.
Because I don't think that Shakur is going to come out and try to fight or take the fight to Teo in the first 6 rounds at all. So if he's fighting off the back foot, if Teo can make it so that he's convincingly, or he's convinced at least Shakur that he may have won 4 of the first 6 rounds, if it's 4-2 in Shakur's mind going into the second half of the fight, or if I'm looking at him stealing those first 6 rounds, then it's an interesting fight going into the tail end, because Teo, to me, is a front runner, right? I want to see if he can carry his energy and his explosiveness late in the fight and not wear down. And then when Shakur starts to open up, you know, can you steal some of those championship rounds from him and make it like a close fight? I think if Tio comes out and does what he usually does, which is try to swarm Shakur early and keep Shakur on the defensive early, then he can try to steal a lot of those early rounds. And if he does that, then Shakur has to fight in the tail end of that fight, and that'll make it real interesting. If I'm looking at the first 3 rounds, first 4 rounds, and Tio looks like he's losing those rounds convincingly, then it's an easy night for Shakur, unanimous decision in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because I don't think Tio is going to bring anything late in the game, you know what I mean, to this fight. I think if he is who he's always been, you know, he's going to get gassed after like the 7th round and then take some rounds off. And when he does that, Shakur will open up and start to try to pick him apart, pot shot him, and do things like that. But this is the perfect fight, narrative-wise, for Shakur, because I've been waiting for Shakur to get into that fight where, you know, he doesn't have the fight where he doesn't have his Diego Corrales fight, you know what I mean, where you think he's actually in danger. Shakur has been he's been outclassing everybody he's in the ring with. You know what I mean? Then the guys that you think could give him some work, like De Los Santos, I know people hate when I bring that fight up, but I want to see him actually in danger.
Shakur Stevenson says his drive comes from a fierce competitive fire and a need to chase the toughest challenges. After watching Teofimo Lopez's last outing, he was struck by the flashy, confident style that reminded him of a young Roy and made him want to test himself at that level. He sees this fight as a crucial chance to measure his skills against an elite opponent while adapting to new tactics. His rough bout with William Ada, he believes, forced him to grow, proving he can handle pressure and adversity. Now, with that experience, he feels ready for Lopez's speed, power, and unpredictability, confident he can navigate a hard, high-level test of skill and mental strength.
But, bro, what is it about you that has you, looking at a fighter that you know is the truth and then saying, I want to fight him? It seems like it should be normal if you're a fighter, right? But that stuff is dying off in the game right now. And I feel like you one of the last of the dying breed that actually want real challenges.
Yeah, I'm competitive, bro. So it's like, I want to be the best. So when I see certain guys out there, and I seen Tio his last fight, I was there front row, and I'm like, damn, this dude is like, he like a baby Roy. Like, he like doing things with his hands down, flashy. And I thought it was cool. So it kind of made me want to get in the ring with him and see if he could do them things against my style.
Your last fight was against William Zepeda in July, and you fought a totally different way. It wasn't the easiest way or the best way to fight, but I think it was good for you and your development because it not only sent a message to the rest of the division, one up, your division at that time, and then the one above you, but it sent a message to the fans. But I think it also did something for you to prove to yourself that, man, listen, that wasn't like my best performance, but I showed you I can get it out the mud. What did that performance kind of do for you now that you look back at it?
Honestly, I think like styles wise, I think that Zepeda's style is the style that's supposed to give me the most trouble. Like guys that box and give me time to think is the guys that's gonna have a fit with me all night. But the guys who press me and put me against some ropes and throw a million punches, that's the style that's supposed to give me trouble. So I went out there and I prevailed against that style, and now I'm fighting against a boxer, which for me, it just makes it more fun. I don't have to deal with a guy that's trying to like wear me down so much.
Right.
Chris Algieri underscores how important Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez is for boxing itself. He champions fights where elite talents face each other and take risks, even if a loss is possible, insisting setbacks don't erase greatness. To him, this matchup is a throwback, a high-level technical chess match, not a wild slugfest, where skill, patience, and strategy will keep fans locked in. Algieri says a win would firmly place Shakur in the top 5 to 7 pound-for-pound fighters, though many believe he's already there. He likens the bout to classic clashes between the best in a division, proof that world-class boxing remains as dramatic and meaningful as ever.
Or the health of boxing on this side of the world. Listen, there's nothing like the Garden. We've both fought there many times. I fought in the big room. There's nothing like the Garden. Just the vibe, like you said, champ, that's around that. And this fight is deserving to be here. It's that good of a fight. It's that big a fight, and especially like I said, like the health of American boxing. This is one of the best fights that can be made. And putting it in the Garden just makes too much sense.
But the idea of the turmoil, the eyes on it, the spectacle, the circus. Chris, you talked about the idea that Teofimo Lopez kind of lives in this. That's where he flourishes. That's what he loves. This idea that because there's so many eyeballs on it, it's going to be kind of a circus. Does that favor Teofimo a little bit when you look at the strategy? Yes, no?
I'm going to say well, I can't say for certain because there's no certain with Teofimo Lopez. He's one of the most up, down, left, right guys I've ever been around.
Mercurial, we could say. Yes.
But when he is on, he's damn near unbeatable. I mean, he's such a good athlete. He has such a good boxing IQ. He's so physical and explosive. And again, I've said this on past shows. I've called him many times for Top Rank, been around fight weeks. And it just seems to me, the more out of sorts he seems, the more back against the wall it looks like, the more that he's an underdog, the better he performs. And this could be that kind of situation. New York is a tough place, man. They're already gibbering, going back and forth, saying like, you know, he reps Brooklyn, but there's kind of questions about his Brooklyn roots. Can he really rep Brooklyn in the way that he says he can? So he's already getting that heat for that. I don't know. It might be a good thing to kind of to poke the bear in terms of how well Teofimo is going to show up.
Paulie, that's a huge. You're from Brooklyn. That's a big insult to say that you're not really from Brooklyn.
Insult him a little bit.
Insult him a little bit. Insult him.
But I'll tell you what. I don't. There's so many thoughts in my head with this situation because Teofimo is at his most dangerous when he's counted out, and this is going to be one of those fights where he's going to be counted out.